Hey everyone, Will here from McBean and just recently a new trailer dropped for BAMM Source's sequel to Jason BAMMM called The Clone Wars, and it literally dropped 21 minutes ago, and I wanted to be like the first up to get out a kind of a breakdown to just for all of you guys who just watched the trailer and you want to have a breakdown and try to understand what the sequel might possibly be about. I'm here to kind of break that down for you. So apologies for lack of quality, but I wanted to get this out as fast as possible. As you can see, I've liked it because I've seen it. Very good trailer. Now, before I get started, the cool thing about this is they dropped it out of nowhere. Like usually with most trailers, like they'll tell you when they're gonna drop a trailer, but at this point, we as BAM Source fans, we didn't even like know that a Jason Bam sequel was even coming. We knew, given the how well the first one did, but we didn't know it was coming for sure, and we especially didn't know that it was coming so soon. And before we start the trailer, we can look here in the description. As you can see here, I've asked for their permission to do this breakdown. But as you can see in the description, they say it's set a mere 2 hours after the original, so that's kind of cool. So it's set straight after we get left off in the first Jason Bam, which I believe Jason Bam takes out the cloning facility, and they touch on that at the start of this trailer. So let's just pull this open and get started. As you can see, the following preview has been approved for all audiences. So we got the classic film ratings logo and everything, just to make sure we know this is all legit. So let's get started. Now, before the visuals even start, we can start to break everything down. BAM Source, which is as you probably know, is the company that created Jason Bam and created all the concepts of the film company. They've actually got a new logo here. So this bomb is something we've seen before. It's in their profile picture and everything, but this concept of like the bomb next to the two words saying BAM Source, this is something we haven't seen before. So we see this fade in and fade out. Now, this probably doesn't have any impact on the plot, but it is something interesting to note and something cool just to see. And I must say, as a fan of BAM Source, I like it. I think it's a clean, good, well-designed logo.
Jason.
Alright, now I'll take it back a bit. We start off with a voice saying Jason right here.
Jason.
Now, I'm inferring just from the sound of the voice that this is actually Big Al, who we may see is his ally in the first Jason Bam. So we know he is confirmed to make a return, and that's pretty cool. We start off with this black and white clip of Jason Bam, played by Oscar Morrison, falling out of this car. Cuts to slow motion, very nice shot. Shows that Oscar might be in a bit of strife though. Now, something to note about this frame
Jason.
is if we kind of break this down, we can actually slightly see a figure in the car with him. So he's clearly not
Jason.
So Jason's driving, so we will have no immediately reason. So it's not like he's having like a getaway driver. So this is someone that's in the car with him. So I'm thinking we haven't seen the movie yet, so we don't know. So maybe it could be some kind of hostage that he's using, or like someone that he has to protect. Maybe this could be like a buddy cop thing. I don't know. I don't know. But let's keep on going.
Beckett.
So here we have some dialogue, and it's actually played over a clip from the last Jason Bam movie, where Jason busts into the cloning facility. So we look at this shit here. So that's Jason when he's busting into the cloning facility.
Beckett.
Now we hear this voice, who we can most certainly assume is Big Al, saying back at Point Sandy
Point Sandy, when you raided the cloning facility.
when we raided the cloning facility. So he's referring to the cloning facility, he's referring to the events of the last thing. So we can definitely know that this is like a pure continuation. It's a like this you're gonna have to have seen the first one, because I'm assuming that this quite plays heavily into the plot. So let's keep it going.
And
And destroyed.
the boss.
So destroy the boss. So they're destroying the boss, and they actually play a clip of Liam. Now, I believe in the last one, the boss was Big Al. So why they're showing a clip of Liam is unknown at this point. Perhaps something happens with a plot with him becoming the boss, stepping up. But he was Jason BAMMM's ally in the last one. So, this is obviously going to play quite deeply into the plot, but let's continue on. He's putting on a pair of sunglasses. So will these sunglasses be powered? We truly have no idea. This is all foreign to us. And note that these clips at the start are in black and white. So are these some form of flashback for Jason BAMMM? Obviously, we know that the second clip is the one of him busting into the room, because that is a clip from the first Jason BAMMM film. But we haven't seen these other two clips before, so we don't know. Now, here,
Many after you.
he says the words, he sent many after you. And we see these four figures, a couple of which we can make out. So we can assume from the dialogue he sent many we assume he's saying many people, and he's referring to these four here. Now, these are, you can recognize as the three mercenaries from the first Jason BAMMM. We see here Tom, we see George, we see Liam, and here, which is the most interesting thing, we see Jason BAMMM. So what does this mean? Why is Jason BAMMM with the other three mercenaries? Possibly either Jason BAMMM turns. Now, this is called the Clone Wars. So my best guess is that Jason BAMMM is the only one that gets cloned. And Jason BAMMM gets an evil clone that joins up with the mercenaries, who then fight. They fight. The two Jason BAMMMs fight each other. And that would be a really interesting representation of like the internal struggle Jason BAMMM has to go through. And, he... Like, I can see no other... It's called the Clone Wars, so that would be a war of two clones, which I personally think is quite interesting, like, something that I'd like to see, personally. But movie hasn't been released yet. We don't know anything for certain.
Droid, the boss. He has sent many after you.
Cut to black.
So you're the good one, right?
So he's asking this person, you're the good one. So maybe there's an evil clone of Big Al as well. That's why he's saying, oh, you're the good one. Because he's saying, oh, you're the good one, meaning there must be a bad one. So he's talking to Big Al here. So we can recognize that as Jason BAMMM's voice. Saying, oh, so you're the good one. And right here,
That's right.
we hear Big Al confirming it, saying, that's right. So that's something that we can put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Peace.
Here we cut to Jason BAMMM, again in the car. So we find out that this whole conversation between Jason BAMMM and Big Al has been happening in a car.
Serious?
We see them having a laugh, which means there's probably like a film about mateship. A film about friendship, about the relationship between Big Al and Jason BAMMM. And that's something that I'm definitely like really interested to get into the nitty gritty of. Let's keep it going. Okay. Here, we have a clip of the mercenary, Tom. He seems to be walking... Sorry. Are
you serious?
So he's walking through some kind of desolate area. We can see like this old broken down swings and this kind of shabby house and everything. We can assume that this might be set either somewhere quite desolate or like somewhere kind of post-apocalypse, but we can't confirm anything from this show. All we know is Tom will be in it and he's walking through this area. We cut to this next shot, which shows a mysterious body. We can't work out who this is yet. Sorry, missed this shot here. This confirms it. Big Al, this is Big Al here, and this is Jason BAMMM, and they seem to be in the car together. So this, I'm assuming, we don't know yet, could be a different scene, but this is probably from the same scene that we see from the narration from earlier of where they're having the discussion in the car, and we see them run over something. So they hit something or something. We don't know yet. All right, we see the 3 mercenaries in this kitchen, this kind of house area. Now, we don't see Jason BAMMM here. So is this from a different scene where Jason BAMMM hasn't turned evil yet? Because if we cut back to earlier, to right here, we see the 3 mercenaries from the kitchen, but we also see Jason BAMMM. And here... Are
you serious?
Let me just find the clip.
Are you serious?
We see them, but no Jason BAMMM. So what this means? Yeah, we'll have to see the film to find out, or wait for more trailers to come out. Now here we see some legs that we don't really know who they are, but notice how this is the same car from earlier where Jason BAMMM falls out of in this first shot. The shot right here. This is the same car. Look, exact same car. And here are the legs. Like, here are the legs right here. The legs. So we see Jason BAMMM tripping over these legs right here. And this is the same car. And then here, we see these 2 pairs of legs and the dead body that Jason BAMMM tripped over earlier in the trailer. So we can assume that either of these legs is Jason BAMMM, and then the legs that aren't Jason BAMMM, we don't know who it is. It could be the mysterious passenger in the car. It could be Big Al, who we see Jason BAMMM in the car with. But right now, we don't know. These could be 2 different characters. Like, I'm assuming it's Jason BAMMM, but we don't see Jason BAMMM anywhere else. So maybe Jason BAMMM has been kidnapped and these are 2 people and they're coming to investigate the dead body. I have no idea. We have no idea. Now here, we see a dead body being dragged by someone in a red jacket. Now, this is just me taking a shot in the dark, but if we cut back to here, we see Jason BAMMM with a red jacket. But that's not all. We also see...
Are you serious?
George with a red jacket here. So we've got 2 characters right now that have a red jacket that could be dragging this body. And hang on, wait a minute. Ah, now this is something interesting. Right here in one frame, we see the very distinct red jacket of George, the character George, the mercenary George. And here we see the distinctive red jacket of Jason BAMMM. So here, this is Jason BAMMM and George working together to drag this mysterious body that I assume is the same one that got hit by the car earlier. So, this might be the evil clone that's working with George, or maybe the mercenary George turns good. We don't know yet. But they're working together, and they were previously enemies in the last one, so why this is, we can only assume. Here, we see George, right here, tackling Big Al. And Liam is lying either unconscious or dead on the floor. Now, I assume they wouldn't show Liam dying in the trailer, because that would be a spoiler, so we can assume that he's probably unconscious. Now, George is here tackling Big Al to the ground. So if Jason BAMMM in this movie are allies, and so is Jason BAMMM. So Jason BAMMM is allies with Big Al in this movie, but from this shot here... Oh, sorry guys, hit the microphone. But from this shot here, we can see that Jason BAMMM and George are also allies. So why would then in this shot, Big Al and George be fighting? It's called the Clone Wars, so I have a sneaking suspicion that these are clones and they're all fighting each other, and there are some evil clones, there are some good clones. But let's continue watching. Here we see Tom running through the same desolate wasteland. Not much to add here. Pretty similar to the shot we saw earlier of him walking, except now he seems to be in danger because he's running, or he's running to capture someone or hurt someone, but he's running frantically, which is something we didn't see in the see in the shot before, because he was just calmly walking. Here we see Tom lying on the ground, either dead or unconscious, and Jason BAMMM comes down, and what he wants, he seems to be using it. He's holding his Oh, I missed out on this shot here of Tom. This is Tom because we see the dark grey jacket and the red hoodie chasing towards George. So why are they fighting? No idea. And here we see this mysterious figure punching Jason BAMMM. And notice in this shot, Jason BAMMM is wearing a green jacket. So what version of Jason BAMMM is this? Is it the same one, or is it a different version of Jason BAMMM? I don't know. And here we appear to see Jason BAMMM holding his famous stick gun. From his wooden gun from the first one, which appears to have some upgrades. We don't get a good shot of it in this trailer, so we'll see if he continues using it or he upgrades it in some way. But we can see him holding a wooden gun, so we know it'll make some form of return. No, we don't know what version it will be. And we see him running over and hitting an unconscious Tom on the ground, and we see Tom reacting, so we know that he's not dead, he's just unconscious in some way. Cut to black, title credits. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, it's so great to see the Jason BAMMM logo back on our screens. And with this big red 2, it just makes me so excited for the future of the franchise. And we have one more clip to analyze here. We appear to see Tom lying on the ground wearing sunglasses, so maybe this is an evil clone, we don't know. And Jason BAMMM is here with a stick or a whip of some kind, hitting Tom, hitting the corpse, and saying the word slave. So maybe this is the evil Jason BAMMM, and he's been enslaving clones for some purpose. But that's my best guess of like what's happening in this scene.
I think he's dead.
And he thinks he's dead. And everyone around him starts to laugh. So this proves that this movie is about the friendship of Jason BAMMM and everyone. And Jason BAMMM and the people he cares about. This is a movie about relationships and the loneliness that Jason BAMMM feels in his missions. And here, back a bit, we see the distinct red hair of George again. So we know George and Jason BAMMM will have some form of relationship in the movie, given we've seen a couple of shots of them together. Coming soon. So excited to see this here. And again, we see the BAMMM Sauce logo. And that's where it finishes. Now, I'll just put it back here. What an incredible bloody trailer. What a great trailer. It just gets me so excited. So much there to analyze. I will be making... Tonight, I'm just going to be there. I'm going to be making theories. I'm going to be thinking about... Excuse me. I'm going to be thinking about what happens in the next movie. I cannot tell you guys. I'm sure you guys are as well. How, just pumped I am for Jason BAMMM 2. Just so excited. I'm really, really excited to see what happens. Make sure you check out the trailer. I know I just spent ages analyzing it, but I'd love if you guys all just went and had a peek and just, make your own theories about the movie. Now, thank you guys for watching. I'm really glad you stuck through this. And let me know in the comments how excited you are for Jason BAMMM 2. Because, I just can't put it into words. See ya.